Look, look alive, Pricilla. Look alive. Look alive. 15.
Mike.
Smile.
Oh,
You on camera.
I know, but my thing is staticking. What the heck? Out of nowhere. Everything was fine.
Here we go.
It started staticking. Oh, God. Oh.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's interview with the one, the only LoKey. Dark and lovely, no one above thee. Girl, you really got it going on. I want to spank you. I want to thank you. Let me just stop. I'm too nasty. Hey, fellas. Welcome to tonight's show. Hey, Darren. Hey, T-Bone. Hey, Prof T. Without further ado, Tallboy, bring them in and let's get this interview started. Holla, everyone. See ya.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, what's happening?
What's up? That was funny. Did you find the video?
What? That was hilarious.
That was.
Hi, how y'all doing?
That was funny.
Was
when
very
he
funny.
Was. I was wondering why he was turned like that. That's hilarious. That was hilarious. But everyone, welcome to tonight's show, season 2 of Old School Tuesday. You guys are kicking it off. The one and only LoKey is here. Everyone show some love to the one and only LoKey. What's up? What's up, Darren? Prof T and T-Bone. What's going on? Oh, you got the glasses on, brother. I see you. Okay. Oh, okay. You ain't playing tonight.
He's cool. He's so cool.
Y'all hear? I can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Are you muted?
Can you hear me?
Can you say something else? I think we can hear you.
I said you got to put your sunglasses on so you can feel cool. Ho!
All right, man. All right. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. So since Prof T came in being funny, now is he the funny one? Like, which one of you all is the funniest? The one who likes to dance the most, and who's the quietest?
There are no quiet ones.
Yeah,
we're not.
Maybe
None of us
Dre.
are quiet.
None of us
Dre
are
is
quiet.
the most quiet.
Yeah, Dre might be.
Yeah, you see him there. Yeah,
Dre would. I would have to. He'd be nomination. Yeah, Lance had a. Back in the day.
Okay. Y'all,
The three of
Oh,
us
he could be subdued.
I don't know who is who though. Like, I guess Bone is kind of the funniest for sure.
It's
T-Bone is the funniest.
any time. It's all of us though.
Dre
We
would
like
be.
to have
He had
fun.
his times when he was funniest.
and found some bitches.
You know what I'm saying? Look at me with no glasses and looking 12. Darren likes to dance.
12 and a half.
Darren likes to dance, but I want best dance.
London. We're in. By the way, if you want some context, we're in London. In these pictures you see.
And that's Junior.
Mama used to say.
Junior.
Mama used to say, "Take your time, young man." Yeah,
that's who
he was a fan.
What you know about that song?
Yeah.
That is my deal. That's my deal. Okay, with all you all's personality, with everyone's personality, and just who you guys are, how did you all get to come up with the name LoKey? Who really came up with that name?
Go ahead, Prof.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, first of all, we were a band. We used to be a band in Kansas City back in the 80s. Now, I wasn't in the band at the time. I was still in high school. But the band was called Grand Jury. It had a large following in Kansas City. I mean, I saw them live. Darren was in the band at the time. And I thought they were signed. They were amazing. So, of course, we moved to Minneapolis. We played up there as a group. Nothing really came of it as a group. We made a little noise. But then Lance, Alexander,
That's us
and
at First Avenue.
Yeah, that's First Avenue there at the top. Where Prince did Purple Rain. That's the club we were playing. That's when we grand jury
that's
in
the same
Minneapolis. That had to be
stage.
about 80. That was about 87, 88, 87, 87. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like right after that, we broke up. Me and Lance started writing. And then me and Lance and Darren, actually, we put together this idea. We were like, let's just do a group. See if we can get signed that way. So we went through a whole bunch of names, and LoKey was in the list. It was just the best out of the list. So we said, all right, let's roll with this. But what we'll do is we'll flip it. We'll put a question mark on the end of it. And that way it'll be pronounced LoKey. So that's really how it should be pronounced. It's LoKey because we got a fun and funky side and we got a chill side. So, that's the LoKey experience. And when one day we'll get into speaking Keyish.
Yeah, we came up with a whole.
You want to know about all that?
So we have a whole dictionary of terms.
Santi Punti.
So
Eco.
Bonnie.
Ubani. Santi
Punti.
Yeah, that's some Keyish.
We can't tell you what none of that means right now. See.
That's right.
Tell me behind the scenes. Tell me behind the scenes.
Stay
Tell
tuned.
me behind the scenes.
Well, we actually,
I'm gonna say too.
Priscilla, we actually published a dictionary with all with the definitions of all our terms.
Right.
All the LoKey sayings.
If you can find that, then you deserve a reward. If you can find that dictionary.
Yeah.
I gotta find.
I might have.
You might have one, Prof.
Yeah, it was a promo when we first got our record deal and we did our first single. We were trying to, just sell the group. So we came up with all these different kinds of just promotional things. And one of them was a book that had just all LoKey sayings. Mm-hmm. And it went out to like record. It went out to radio stations and, record pools and all that stuff. Yep. Yeah, just to kind of get us introduced. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was a fun video.
That was a real fun video.
That car, I don't know whose idea was to have that kind of car.
That was
it was our idea because we kind of storyboarded the video out. That's everything that you see there is our idea, and then the director had to make that come to life.
Right.
So that was a long day. That was a really
long day. Long day and night.
I think 18 hours.
That was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun, but 18 hours.
Yeah, we had a ball with that record. We had a ball.
I'm gonna come back to the music video question, but my question is: I seen a picture where you guys went in a picture with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. What is one thing you all learned when working with those talented producers in it? What did you take? What you learned then that you apply still to now?
I'll go first. And I remember we were working on this song called "Your Love Is Strange," and it didn't make the album. But we had come up with these crazy harmonies. We were channeling our inner Cameo when we were working on this song, and we had these crazy cameos. And I remember Terry Lewis coming in, and he came in. It's like, yeah, what y'all doing? What y'all doing? And so we asked him, Terry, can you listen to these vocals? Listen to these BGs. And I remember Terry listening to it. And he didn't scrunch his nose up or anything like that. And he just said, and if it feel good, go with it. And I was like, wow, okay. It's that simple. I mean, this guy is obviously that prolific. And he just said something as simple and profound as if it feels good, go with it. And so even to this day, I always remember that as far as not maybe over analyzing or overthinking things. If it feels good, go with it. If it's like in your gut, go with it. And that's something, that's just one example but that always sticks out in my mind when he came in there and said, it feels good, go with it. And I'm like, okay. So that's something that I've kind of applied to my life in general. If it feels good, it feels good in your gut, you don't have any doubts about it, just go with it.
Yeah. I actually, Darren, I remember that day when Terry came in there, because there was a part that Dre was singing, and we felt like we wanted to change it. And Terry was like, no, leave that on there. So it was about the feeling, how it felt. And when he listened to it, we had captured what we intended to. So he was saying, don't mess with it. So that was cool. I remember that day.
Yeah. No, I don't remember that day. It's probably because I had a lot of experiences with them, because I worked with them 15 years. So I got to know them very well and in many layers. So in terms of, man, I just took away so much. I mean, a lot of who I am today is because of them. I mean, that was kind of my formative college years, I like to say, early on. So, man, where do you start? I don't know. They gave me a lot. I'll just say that. They gave me a lot. And I really appreciate it. And it was an amazing experience working with them. And to this day, it's just like almost surreal that I was actually, a part of that whole thing and a part of their journey. So, yeah.
Pricilla, that was a really cool time. Prof and Lance were considered the B team. Of course, Jimmy and Terry were the A team. So in this, we had sort of a Motown family type of feel at Flight Time. So it was LoKey. There was a group called Crush. There was King's English. There was the Sounds of Blackness. There was Lisa Keith. Of course, they were recording Janet. And then there was Mint Condition. So it was kind of like a family around the studio all the time. And Jam and Lewis really made it comfortable for us. So it was like home. It was our second home. We would go there. When we left home and went there, we were there from sun up to sundown. And it didn't feel like you were at work. You were at your second home. So they definitely made us feel like that was our place.
Yeah, and another thing about that, Bone, just to piggyback on that, is that if you were there, you could end up being on other people's records, because they would just come out and say, hey, come here. Like, come in the studio. It's like, what do you want? It's like, so I think the first time that happened, maybe it wasn't the first time, but the one I remember is when we went in and we sang on Karen White's song "Time to Get Romantic," and we just went in there and did backgrounds like "Time to Get Romantic," and it was like, and we was clapping our hands, and we did hand claps on somebody's song. I can't remember, maybe it was the Sounds, but it was that type of atmosphere where like we could just be hanging out in the kitchen taking a break, and the next thing you know, we singing background on Karen White's first single on her album, which was a platinum single, I believe, a platinum album for sure. And that's how it was.
Yeah, a lot of that happened.
A lot.
My first experience was when we first got signed. When me and Lance got signed, they were working on Johnny Gill's album. So literally, we go in the studio. This is like right out of Kansas City, off the boat. Literally walking in the studio, and Heavy D is in the studio recording the rap to All Right by Janet Jackson, and Johnny is finishing up Rub You the Right Way. So Terry pulled me and said, "Prof, man, just sing on the end of this." So if you get that record, if you hear the end where it says, Your every wish is my command, so sit right back and back, relax. All that part, that's me. I was geek, boy. I was geek. I'm on Johnny Gill. Boy, you can't talk to me, baby. Can't say nothing.
Yeah, man,
It
that
was
was
beautiful,
cool.
man. It was beautiful, and it was a smash. So, yeah,
I know.
that's the kind of that's the kind of almost fantasy like world we got exposed to right away.
Yeah,
In being this lifetime.
and you would never know who was going to walk in. I mean, of course, back then anybody could walk in. I mean, you're in the studio and in walks Janet Jackson or in walks Babyface. It's like, wow. I mean, these are icons, but they walk in and they were cool. They cool with us and asking us what's happening with our stuff and hanging out with us. That's what it was.
It was really surreal.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was really surreal. And I don't think I ever have spent time like really reflecting on how that was. Even to this day, 32 years later, how surreal that was, because we just kind of had to get to work. We got there and we had to get to work. And so we just were immersed in the world. We didn't have time to think about it. We didn't have time to react to it. We just had to get to work. So even to having this conversation right now with you, I am actually kind of allowing myself to recall and reminisce and reflect on how crazy it was, how we went from that to nothing. I mean, I was running a record store in Detroit, Michigan. That's what I was doing when I got the call. Hey, we got a deal. And then all of a sudden, like the snap of a finger, truly a snap of a finger. I even think I put the itinerary that Sue sent us on Facebook once.
Right.
I found it, and like October something 1990, our whole itinerary for that, and it just happened. And I've never ever really spent a whole lot of time like thinking about, man, that was bananas. Because we
really
just had to get to work.
man.
I mean, we got there, Prof, T-Bone. We just had to get to work.
Yeah. It was a great experience, Pricilla. I mean, it was just something that I'll always cherish. Like I said, I mean, we're just sitting in the break room, and Janet walks in and is asking, talking about, oh, I'm hungry. I want to get something to eat, but she didn't have any money. She didn't have any cash on her, and she was like, I want to go get something to eat. I don't have any money. And so then she turns around and asks to borrow $10. Can you believe that?
Right.
I mean, we're sitting at the break room, and there's Janet Jackson talking about I want to go get something to eat. Can I get
this didn't make her
$10?
document. This didn't make the documentary, unfortunately.
It did.
Janet needed $10.
But it was cool. I mean, like I said, it
was cool.
Anyway,
Janet was super
Janet
cool.
was very cool. She hung out with us quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
We did shows all over, and while she was working with Jam and Lewis on her stuff, she would come and hang out at our shows, and her and some of her girls would hang out. It was real cool. It was a cool vibe. So
absolutely.
Bet not nobody say nothing bad about Janet. Nobody.
Go ahead, Pricilla. We just talking, and you.
No, you guys can talk. Like, but to listen to you guys reminisce, it has me sitting here thinking, your hit song, I got a thing for you, baby. No, I can't sing. But do you guys, what makes people my age want to get up in it? The minute it comes on the radio, oh, you got a groove. What is so, how did you guys, when you recorded it that day, did you think that it would become like where it is now? People still, it turns on the radio, boom, people still know it. They know it like, is that I got a thing for you? And they're dancing. Did you guys really see that back then when you guys first recorded the song?
Wow.
Well, I need to defer to. I want to defer to Prof because he's one of the writers of the song. But I do know how Terry Lewis felt about the song. you know.
Yeah.
But Prof, I'll let you start it since you wrote the song, man.
You wrote the songs, man.
In terms of how special, I don't know. We knew we had something. We knew we had a record. I don't know if we were really clear on how big it would be, because the interesting thing, it wasn't our first single. So, and I knew part of the reason why was we were trying to come out fun and energetic and all that. But that was clear. It was certainly clear that was going to be the second single. So, yeah, I mean, it's just one of them things. It's just magic. Magic exists. Yeah. It's real. It just came together, you know, and it fit for what we were doing, and what we were trying to do. And that was to kind of bring back a little bit of the essence that was really not that long ago prior. I mean, we grew up to Cameo and Confunction and all them groups, Ohio Players and what have you. So that was really like an ode to Confunction. It's not Cameo, even though that's still my favorite band of all time, but it's really Confunction. And that's kind of, we were trying to bring a little bit of that back, you know. And that's the whole thing about the label that we were on, you know, because Mint Condition, they were a band we played with in Minneapolis, had the same manager, shared the same rehearsal space when we was just kids, 17, 18 years old. Some of us, some of y'all was 20.
Yeah,
but
that wasn't
it just was in line with what we grew up with. Kansas City being a Midwest town, we just had a Midwest sound. And, you know, thankful you did it. Thankful you. I appreciate that it's a classic. You know, I mean, it's still like when I hear it, I smile to this day. It's still one of them records that just, I don't know, kind of undeniable in a way, I suppose. Do y'all remember Josie from Living Color? In Living Color, the dancer?
Harris.
That's her.
With the Josie, braids and that scene, yeah. And she danced with Janet too. Wow.
Yeah, Fly Girl and with Janet, yes.
Yeah. Look at Darren climbing the wall.
Get some water.
Look at that climbing that wall, getting that smooch.
Right.
Yeah, that was worth it. Every 14 times I did it.
Yeah, she chose D too, by the way. She's like, I want to be here. Like, hey, all right. Well, it is what it is, baby.
So to that point, you know, when we got there, the record was honestly most of it was done when we got there. Prof and Lance had already, you know, laid most of it track, so we came there and we sang on it, and you know, Dre had to do his leads and stuff like that. But I remember when Terry Lewis came in and we were listening back at it, and Terry Lewis had a feeling about the record when he heard it. You know, I can't remember exactly what he said, but you know, I was serious. Kind of like that. That might be a hit. That might be a hit. You know, and but of course, none of us could have imagined it being number one. But the thing I remember about Thing for You is just how hard we worked that record. We basically did it the old school way. We did it the Motown way, where we basically got on the bus, got on the road, and went from city to city, college to college, played shows, small towns. We did the Chitlin circuit, and we worked that record because that record actually was on the charts before it got to number one for like 16 weeks. And I have some experience in the record business because I worked for a record company right before LoKey got our deal. So I kind of knew. And normally when records stay on the charts that long, they don't get there. They don't get to number one. But our record just kind of just crept up and jumped over people and jumped over people. And we were on the road that whole time. So every time that we would leave a city, guess what? Our record would kind of jump up the charts. We would leave an indelible mark on people. You know, we were we were the guys that we hung out with the people that came to the shows. We were very accessible to people. We really talked to our fans and hung out with our fans and all of that. And so that's what I remember about that song, The Journey, us working that record, not just, the way that some people did, but we were out on the road. We were on the bus. We were working hard to make that record happen. And then when it finally happened and it went #1, we were at this high school in Dallas when we found out that it was #1. And we weren't even there playing. We were just talking to kids about being in the business and all of that stuff. And we found out that day, I think it was in November. I want to say it was November like 21st or something like that. It was right before Thanksgiving. And we got the word in front, and they announced in front of this entire high school audience that our record had went #1. And I tell you, we used to talk about this stuff like when we were in the basement and hanging out and acting stupid and playing the dozens and whatever we used to do back then. We used to talk about being on Video Soul and sitting next to Donnie Simpson, and we were dreaming all this stuff. But when somebody actually tells you that you got a #1 record, there's no words.
Yes, that's
all we did
feeling.
was hug each other.
It's a great feeling.
All we did was hug each other, and I think I might have cried a little bit. And to do it in front of those kids, that was really awesome too, because the kids, being able to see success happen right in front of them. So there might be an artist out there that was sitting there that's like, man, that could happen to me. I can have a #1 record one day. So that was really cool. But every time I hear the record, and me being in radio, I play our record all the time, which is kind of weird that I'm still playing our record 30 years later. It's in my show, and that's kind of dope to be able to play my record. So every time I still hear it on the radio, I like to or see the video on one of the video channels, it still makes me smile.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what's up. Like, I know when you were talking about who would have thought you guys wanted to be on Video Soul, Donnie Simpson, all those shows. And now here you are on Old School Tuesday Turnup. I thought I'd just throw that in there somewhere.
That's right. Very well produced show, Pricilla. I'm impressed. This is cool.
Thank you. It's Tallboy.
Very
It's
nice.
all Tall. I can't really do it all because you have Tallboy. I wish Tallboy, you guys can see, the fans can see Tallboy. He's probably back there doing pictures together. But what is me, and we're like a team, like the A team, like you guys were saying, is you have me, you got Tallboy. So without me, I couldn't do it without everything with him. We go through everything, but at the end of the day, we just get the job done, and we like to just sit here and entertain the audience and make sure you guys come in and just have fun. Artists, you guys just come in and relax, be yourself, and let the fans just enjoy you while you're here. So that's all I ever ask for. So, yeah. Oh, see, there you go. See, there you go. See, there you go.
Tallboy in the house.
Got to have producer behind the scenes making it happen.
That's right.
Yes, exactly. Now, with all your success, everything you guys had accomplished, did, for me is, did you guys face setbacks? Meaning, how many no's did you guys have to go through just to get that one yes? Do you guys ever think about that? Like, dang, just remember that one no, and then that one yes you got, like, here we are. Do you guys face any challenges with that?
Well,
Oh yeah.
The one thing about LoKey, like Prof said, we started as a band, as a band called Grand Jury. So we had many years of experience preparing for those moments. So it really wasn't so much no's. It was just, the preparation that we did. We had lots and lots of preparation, many years together performing and things like that. So, it was just what we were supposed to do.
Yeah, I think we're different than maybe a lot of groups from like today, right? Today we live in an age where bands are put together, and and all of that. And not that that wasn't happening back when we were starting, but we did a lot of living with one another, dealing with one another, in not just music, but just life in general.
Yeah.
There are some stories that I can never tell you that happened to us
You better not.
in grand jury, that will have to go to our graves. But it was also those stories that galvanized us as people. So we were used to getting rejected. We were used to putting all of our equipment in our cars, driving 200 miles and get paid $200, or not get paid at all,
Yeah.
and not having gas money to get back from St. Louis to Kansas City after we went to do a talent show. And it was just like, if we don't win, we not getting home. But we went anyway. So, and getting this and feeling that disappointment. So those are the things that, as far as us, made us resilient. And so that's all that's baked in now. All that, after all that stuff we did when we were kids, it was all baked in. So whatever was going to happen with us, we knew we were going to be okay. But also, we didn't even think about it. We just knew we had to keep going.
Yeah.
Right. The first time, to put it in context, the first time we submitted a tape, it was to MCA. Man, I wish I remember that A&R chick's name. She was kind of popular. I think she had signed a lot of artists at MCA, and she said,
Vita?
No,
not
this is
Vita.
back. Yeah. What did she
back in the
say?
80s.
She's like, well, I heard it, but y'all got work to do. So that was off the table. So when we did the demo and put together the demo for Jam and Lewis, we were working on a 4-track cassette recorder, and it broke. The minute we finished that demo, it broke. And it was like, dang, well, this better work. So when we sent it to Jam and Lewis, they called a month later, blew our mind. But the other thing that happened is, literally the next day, we heard from Busted Records. You know what Busted is? It's MC Hammer's label.
Rhymes? Oh, okay.
No, MC Hammer's label. So they was trying to get us to come to Oakland. They wanted to sign us to come to Oakland because a homegirl that I went to high school with, we did it on our demo. She sung one of the songs. So she was on the road. She actually was singing background with Hammer on the road, and that during all that, can't touch this stuff, right? So she was like, yo, they love your record. They love our record. I'm going to give it to Louis Burrell. So right when we got to Minneapolis, we were in the hotel room, and then we get a call. Well, Lance's father said, hey, Busted Records called. They want y'all to call them. So we called them back, and they was trying to get us to come to Oakland. So we kind of got 2 for 1. We were like, Jam and Lewis, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But we were like, Hammer was pretty hot at the time. So it wasn't like we wasn't like, man, Hammer.
Yeah.
So,
but
yeah, in terms of a lot of like no's, didn't get to really experience it. We kind of, I guess we really fine-tuned the demos till we got to a point where, it worked. Because Jesse Powell, I don't know if you remember that artist. He was on Silas Records. But he was on our demo, and he was going to get signed from our demo. But eventually he went, Jam and Lewis, they loved the song. They took the song that we did, and we did it on Alexander O'Neal's album, All True Man. But he didn't get signed. Dang, it feels like there was somebody else involved. But anyway, luckily we just really fine-tuned our demos and didn't experience a lot of letdown. Then again, we didn't submit to a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
This turns out Jam and Lewis, that was the one.
Well, that was, was the beauty of being right there in Minneapolis. They were right there.
Yes,
You
I'm
know,
glad we went with Jamie Lewis, whoever that is that said. And Janet
Yeah,
was quiet. Yes,
Priscilla, it
she's
was
as
it was just a
quiet as you.
lot of you know, like I said, this was what we were supposed to do. I don't think it was an accident at all because all of us were just continually working. Even when we decided that grand jury wasn't going to work with, like, we had like 11 or 12 people in our band. We had a huge band. We had horn section, prop, and Darren D. Believe it or not, they play. They were our horn section. And then we had another guy named Jason Peterson. The Peterson family was real popular in Minneapolis. Paul Peterson was with Prince and the family and all those guys. So we had a horn section. We had 2 keyboard players. We had, man, we were just a huge band, and it was something a little different than what was going on. So even when that broke up, all of us went to our corners and started writing songs and continued to do demos and things like that. So at the same time that we were preparing to do LoKey, we had some
Thanks,
of our
Alice.
other bandmates doing a group. What were they on MCA? For
Yeah.
sure.
for sure.
And
Yeah.
they got a record deal. And then we had some of our other guys that were doing
They were
production
uptown.
in other places. So our whole crew was constantly working. So it really wasn't about no's. It was just about preparation. We continued to work doing what we had to do. Like Darren said, you know, if there was an opportunity, we were gonna go for it. And it was not we weren't taking no for the answer. So
Mhm.
that's just it. It is what it is. That was what we had to do, and that's what I tell people today. If it doesn't wake you up in the morning, if you don't go to bed at night thinking about it, it might not be for you. Not this way. You might have to find something else to do. If it doesn't drive you, if it's not in your thoughts, if it's not a part of your everyday, it might not be for you. Because it's not an easy road out. I will say that.
Well said.
I like right. I like actually like what you just said. That's deep. That is heck of deep. Like, can you repeat that over and put him on screen? Repeat that over for everyone so they can hear that again. That's deep. I like that.
You remember what you said, man?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I talk to people about music all the time, and I share with them. Well, one thing, I'll just add this to it. I work with kids a lot, and a lot of times when you talk to them, they say they want to be a rapper or they want to be a singer. But I do share with them the way that it works. It's a hard business. It's not friendly all the time. And if it doesn't drive you, if it's not a part of your waking thoughts, if you don't think about it throughout the day, if it's not the last thing you think about before you go to bed, it might not be for you, because it's a rough business. It's nothing like it. So, and Darren and Prop will attest to it. This part of the business side is really, really tough, and there's a lot of work. But the creative part has to be your passion. It has to be that thing that makes you want to go. And that's how all of us felt. I remember seeing Prof. He was in high school. Prop was in high school when he was in a band called Destiny. He and Darren had started a band another time when Grand Jury split, and it was called Destiny, and they were really good too. So it was like we always had fractions of Grand Jury doing really well. So there was Destiny playing, and one day I was looking at TV, and there was this kid who was talking to one of the Beach Boys?
No, Bow Wow Wow. No.
Sha Na Na.
No.
There was a TV show called Sha Na Na, and one of the stars from that TV show invited a high school kid on their show to talk to him. and that high school kid was Prof. And I turned on the TV and saw that. I said, wow, that's the dude from Destiny. That's one of them Destiny ninjas. And I think I found his phone number and I called him the next day and I was like, wow, man. And, you know, we started talking and then, you know, talking about going to Minneapolis. And then maybe 7 months later, we all got together and we went to Minneapolis. Because, I mean, literally, like I said, this was what we did day and night.
Yep.
So that's all I got.
Sure did.
So, that's right. I want to show some love to the folks that are, hey, Monica, how you doing? And we are reading these comments, just so you know. But I wanted to acknowledge that we see them and we read them. Would love to hear about your first big performance.
Alicia, what you know about that?
First big performance.
What you know about the first big performance? As
LoKey or as just period?
One time we got a call because Bobby Brown that had to back out, and then we had to go.
No, Shabba Ranks.
It was Shabba Ranks. Okay,
he got kicked off the tour.
And it was the concert was, what's up, Sheila? Yeah, we all had backup plans, but the concert was it was TLC, SWV. It was like it was a huge arena in St. Louis.
It was Bobby Brown's Humping Around tour.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a Humping Around tour. Right. It was a Humping Around tour. Bobby Brown was a fan of LoKey, by the way.
Yes, he is.
He used to give us love all the time. But anyway, no, that was the biggest. I think that was the biggest show because it was in an arena, and we played a track show. We didn't even we played a track show.
Yeah,
we didn't have a band. We
so
jumping around. I remember I jumped on Darren's back. He wasn't expecting it. He was like, "Hey man, what you doing?" It was just crazy.
It was cool though.
But that's not even the best part of that show.
50,000
we got the call. We got the call about 3:00 in the afternoon. Our manager called us and said, "Hey man, y'all want to do a show?" We were like, "It's like, where is it at?" It's like St. Louis. It's like, okay, when? He's like, about 4 hours. Hold up. And we had to pack our go bag, get on an airplane, and fly to St. Louis. And the airplane we were on, if you guys remember, we didn't land right away because there was another plane on the tarmac.
That's right.
We were almost down. Y'all remember that? We were I could see the line.
We were wheels down, looking at the building.
Wheels down.
Side.
Damn.
Right. Exactly.
And boy, we was.
And the dude took us back up
for 5 minutes, and they didn't say anything. It was like, oh no, what's happening?
And I turned around and looked at this flight attendants, and they looked spooked. So I knew that was a problem because they didn't know what was going on. So you ever want to know what's going on? Exactly, because they were looking at each other. Their eyes was big, and I'm like, oh, I'm thinking we're about to get hijacked.
Yeah.
I mean, all the worst thoughts, and then we get there just in the nick of time to do that. And then it was also Bobby Brown's birthday. Remember that, y'all? It was Bobby Brown's birthday party.
I remember it was Bobby Brown's birthday.
Yeah,
he was in the back.
Can I add something to show you how crazy?
SWV was handing out stuff.
He was saying,
no, I was going to say, to show you how crazy T-Bone is. T-Bone is the king of messing with people. Like, he would always mess with people. Like, they didn't know what angle he was coming from because he would just mess with people. So we backstage, I think it's either after or before the performance, and TLC is standing over there.
Oh, yeah.
And T-Bone looks at Chili, and he puts his head to the side. He said, "Hey, come here." To Chili from from TLC, and she said, "N-word, you come here," because I don't want to say the word, but she said, "You come here." It's just like this dude had no fear, you know, and that's just one of many stories of him just messing with celebrities. He's always messing with celebrities. He's always and they be like, "What?"
Yeah, that was cool times.
He's just coming at him. They be like, "Wow, yo." So I don't know. Maybe that was fun.
Yeah, and that after party was epic too.
Yeah, something to see. Something to see.
Yeah.
That there were signs early on that was going to be a long night. Now we didn't hang out all night. We kind of got up out of there, but it was definitely yeah. Just so you know, Bobby Brown had a good time that night.
Right.
It looked like
what night has he not had a good time?
And so here's another part of that story that the night before happened to be in Minneapolis, ironically, and Whitney was on tour with Bobby, and that was the first time she saw the bed come down. You remember that because Bobby actually almost got put in jail for lewd performance because of the simulation of sex. Whitney was at that show and she had never seen that. And then Whitney was not with him the next day when he got the same movie.
For his birthday. I thought that was crazy.
That was crazy.
But anyway. Whitney
was a LoKey fan too. She loved the group too.
Yeah.
Okay. God bless her.
We actually our publicist was really good friends of Whitney and all of that.
Yeah.
The Jersey girls.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Jersey.
We got a lot of that. We met a lot of people. When we was on the road, a lot of the time, you know, that was during the Shy. It was Shy, Rude Boys,
Silk.
Who else? Jade.
Here we go.
Why am I drawing a blank?
Portrait.
All those groups. Oh, Portrait. Now, Portrait is the group that everybody would confuse us with.
I don't know how that was. Portrait. I don't know. Because it was 5 of them?
I could see kind of the look, and then not totally the look, but just the 4 or 5 man group. And then they had a song called Honey Dip. And we had Sweet on You. And I'm sure people thought, they mixed us up. Anyway. But it was that 90s thing was deep. Okay, hold on. Sheila, what are you saying? You said
Sheila wants to know
what our backup plans would have been.
What would each of you pursue? I was headed to school. I was headed to Columbia, Missouri. That was my plan, to major in communications. And eventually I was going to get into film and television. Starting off as a cameraman, that was the thing I was focused on, trying to be a cameraman. Then eventually maybe a producer and all that. And so this is the 80s, though. This is my plan, the 80s. And then Darren kept bugging me about getting in this band.
We needed a horn player, man. We needed a horn player.
Threw my whole plan off. I was supposed to go to college. I was supposed to get my degree, work for NBC, eventually move up.
Yeah, I messed your whole program. That's your whole program. So for me, I had went to college. And I was a music education major, and I wanted to be a band director. I went to Florida A&M University, home of the Marching 100, the greatest marching band in all the land. Don't you ever forget it. That's right. Yeah, that's right. I know Tallboy know that he's in Atlanta, so he know about all that. So anyway, so I did that. Then I found out how much teachers made, and I got a bit disenchanted with teaching, to be honest with you, because not because of the profession, But I remembered the time that our band director spent with us. He spent a lot of time with us. I mean, morning 7 a.m. rehearsals, after school rehearsals, summer band camp when he's not getting paid,
Yes.
the trips, all the time he spent with us. And I remember asking him, I said, Mr. Whitmore, how much do you make being a band director? He was like, well, Darren, my first contract was $10,300. I said, what? You make $10,000 a year? And all the time you spend with us. And so I then subsequently called the school district, and this is in the summer of 1985. I called the school district and I just asked, is there any way I can talk to someone in human resources? Can you tell me what a first year teacher is making, fine arts instructor, blah, blah, blah. And so they put me on hold and I'm listening to whole music, blah, blah, blah. They come back and they say, yeah, right now we're starting fine arts teachers. That would be band directors, vocal music teachers, drama teachers at $13,500 a year. And that's when I told my parents I wasn't going back to school. I said I could go and play at Moore's down on the boulevard. If we play enough, I can make that money.
Yeah.
If we work enough in grand jury, I could make $13,000, and be happy. And so that's when I left school. And then so that was the backup plan, was to be a teacher for me. And then after, LoKey, like, what are you going to do after LoKey? And my life has had a lot of twists and turns, but one of the things I always wanted to do, even back when I was a kid, I wanted to be in broadcasting. And so that has come true. Fast forward, I've been on KMJK 107.3 here for the last 8 years, and that dream has come true. So that's been really amazing to be able to do that, because that's something that I always wanted to do even when I was a kid.
Yeah. Well, for me, I did go to school just for a little while. I went to MU, and I wanted to be an art major. I love painting, drawing, anything creative. I love it. So
he's a heck of an artist
for a while, but the band, it again, like I'm saying, it was just pulling. I would talk to the guys while I was away at school, and they were like, man, we're about to do this, we're about to do that. I'm like, oh my God. I couldn't hardly sit still. I had a job. I was working at Hallmark Cards, making good money. But, when I'd be at work, the fellas would be like, hey man, we're about to go do this. I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this. So I told my mom the same thing Darren was like, I'm gonna have to put school on hold. I gotta do this. She said, well, what about your job? I'm like, well, we're gigging. I can't do that either. So fast forward, when we stopped doing LoKey, I always wanted to work in the community, because I saw the need for Black men to mentor and help other young Black men or boys. So I began to do community work, working in social services. So I did a lot of that. And then to today, I go into the schools and I show kids how to turn their ideas into music. So if they write poems, or if they think they can rhyme or whatever, I show them how to turn those ideas into songs, and show them how they can be creative in other ways. And also I tell them a little bit about the business, and show them that they don't have to just be the rapper. They might be a ghostwriter, somebody who's behind the scenes. They might be the engineer. They might be the producer. And those types of jobs are long lasting for them. When you see an artist, the lifespan of an artist is about 5 to 10 years, but the lifespan of a producer is until they stop. The lifespan of a songwriter is whenever they stop. So these are the types of things I share with the kids. And somebody may come into my class and they think they're the artist, but then I may show them that, you know what, you have a gift for writing. You're very creative and you can do this forever. You can do this for lots of people. Very few of us get the opportunity to be in front of the camera, in front of the microphone for a long period of time. But if you're honing your craft and learning those other things, you can have a longer career. So that's the type of thing that I always wanted to work with kids and help my community. And that's what I do. That's some of what I do today.
You're a great guy, T-Bone. Great guy.
That is him.
Yes. I like that. I really like that. I like that. It was like I actually have a lot in common with you guys, especially Darren and T-Bone and everything. So I have a lot in common with you guys. Like my degree is in media, so that's why this right here is easy for me. But at the same time, when I'm not doing the show, I'm actually, juvenile. I told Darren I'm a juvenile detention officer over here in Wyandotte County. So yeah. So one thing I noticed while you guys while you guys are talking, at the same time I noticed it was your music videos. So my question is, how did you all come up with your concept for your music videos?
Together.
Right.
I mean, together. I mean, I would say that was a real. The music videos out of probably all the stuff that we did, and if you guys disagree, please don't be shy. That we really worked together on the musical video concepts. I mean, as far as that was really a group effort, as far as what I remember. And the record label really gave us the license to do that, which was awesome, because a lot of times that didn't happen back then. But Jimmy and Terry had a lot of trust in us, and also I think Prof and Lance's relationship with them prior to us getting there, that they were trusting. They let LoKey be LoKey, and so I mean we just really were trying to do some things that people would remember. The Shawanda video was corny and clowny and on purpose. It wasn't, I mean, we didn't have much of a budget, but I think that the premise of the video was it was, I know. But it was exactly what we wanted it to be. It was fun. It was quirky. It was putting our personalities out there, and that was all us. I mean, and I think Prof really drove the concept of that video too, as I remember.
Yeah.
And we storyboarded it out, and we just we trusted our instincts, with the videos, and we had a lot of creative freedom, which is something that I probably don't appreciate as much as I should have now. I probably appreciate it more now than I did then, as far as how much freedom we were given. But so, if Jam see this, thank you for letting us be do us, and
yeah,
and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I would say Prof probably had Prof, I think, was the visionary for a lot of LoKey. For just I think Prof had the conception of a lot of the ideas came from, I think they were birthed there, and then him knowing us so well, knowing us, it allowed us to just be ourselves, and it felt like, well, okay, it's all natural. So we all added our little pieces, but I think, I would give more credit to Prof for conceptualizing what
And then
what was
we would
going
just pile
on.
on.
Yeah,
Right.
so I mean, he Prof would actually, in certain aspects, play me, and then I would just do me. So he would say, "Okay, Bone, what about this?" And it's like, well, he knows us so well that okay, that it's just that's the way it is. Or even with Darren, I mean, he might mimic Darren doing Darren. So I don't know. We all had fun. We all knew each other so well.
Thanks,
So
Mike.
if
Lead
if we had
man.
ideas, they just
Who
fit.
came up
I
with
mean,
that?
because we knew each other so well.
Who came up with that? Lead man.
Probably Dre.
Lead
Either
man.
Dre
man.
or Lance.
Nah, it wasn't Lance.
I think
It could have been me. It
Yeah,
might
Could
have
have. I
been
don't
me.
know. I can't remember
been.
Because
who.
I would
wasn't
give
me.
you a name in a
It's
minute.
it
Right.
stuck. It stuck. I mean,
So
and
that one
yeah, go
video
ahead.
though, did you talk about the one they're playing right now? Now, good old fashioned love. We did not come up with the concept for that. It's funny, that video was shot at like 3 a.m.
Oh God.
We had to
That
shoot
was-
overnight for some reason. I think it's because of location or whatever. But there is a concept to this video I think the director came up with, and the director was Jeff Bird. And he's actually a film and TV director right now. Matter of fact, almost all our videos, every director now is in the film industry.
Yeah, they all blown up.
You know,
They doing it.
F. Gary Gray would probably be the most famous. F. Gary Gray did our video for Hey There Pretty Lady in Hawaii. And when we were in the van heading over to the shoot, I remember having a discussion with him, and I'm like, and he's like, because I love movies. I'm a crazy film buff. So I was just talking movies and movies. Like, I'm working on this movie right now with Ice Cube. I was like, oh shoot, that's dope, man. Ice Cube in a movie? Okay. Well, actually, he just did Boys in the Hood, so I couldn't say that. So he was already kind of there. But yeah, F. Gary Gray had told me about Friday in the van, and it's a classic. And he worked on Hey There Pretty Lady, and I feel like there was one other big director. Well, Kevin Bray worked on the Testify video by Sounds of Blackness. You know, Dre is featured in the Testify video, Sounds of Blackness, and Kevin Bray directed that, and now he's doing. Oh my God, he does Suits.
He directs Suits on USA. He does most of those, right?
Yeah, he directed episodes of House of Cards.
Yeah,
he's done a few HBO. Of course, I just
So the point
that's
is
exactly what I wanted to do.
The point is when you work with us, but the point is that when you work with LoKey, you blow up. You eventually blow up. I'm just saying.
Okay.
So Pricilla, you can count on some big things coming up.
Yep.
That's what I'm
talking about. We signed. I mean, actually, Darren D managed Tech 9 back in the day, and we got him his first record deal.
Yep.
KC Tech. See, the fans don't know about Tech 9. Why don't y'all tell? Because he's from us. He's here in Kansas. I met Tech 9 actually in 2009 when the wrestling game was over at the Sprint Center. That's what it was called at the time. But I met him. And y'all let them know, the fans know who Tech 9 is. Here for us, he's big. But some of the fans probably, there's some audience members, they're like, who's Tech 9? Like, he's a local rapper right here in Kansas City. Let them know. Let them know who's Tech 9.
Well,
I think
the
that
biggest
Tech 9
independent rapper ever.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big. I don't know how he got a song out now with The Rock. I don't know how you don't know who Tech 9 is.
Right.
Exactly. With The Rock rapping.
Right. Exactly. So, yeah. So I mean, I was at
He's a big
I
hit.
saw Tech Nine for the first time at the Harris House. This was a club in Westport called the Harris House, and I saw him, and he was 21, probably at 20, 21 years old. Saw him, and he did his thing, and I said, "That dude is a star. That dude is going to blow up." And I walked up to him and I said, "Do you have a manager?" And he's like, "No, man, I don't have a manager." Said, "Now you do." And that's when the relationship started. And I had a little management company that I was working along with LoKey, because I think one of the things that, and I think we've had these conversations with amongst ourselves, that we always, I don't think that we ever wanted to be the group that's all we were. We always had other interests, like
We're
profits,
not the
his
whispers.
film. Yeah, I mean, we're not the whispers. We're not gonna just, that's all we do for the rest of our lives. We had other interests, and my interest was in representing artists and giving artists an opportunity to do what we were doing. And so I saw Tech Nine, and I knew he was magic. He was magic. It was undeniable, his talent and his energy. So we were able to get him on with Perspective. Unfortunately, Perspective just didn't really know what to do with him. And that was but we got him on. It got him on his road, and he went and worked with Quincy Jones, the third. I mean, he bounced around, did a couple other things, but eventually he found his way in the independent level with Strange Music, and I could not be more proud. That dude used to sleep on my couch, in my apartment, and he will tell you that. But I am so proud. I never had a doubt when I see what he does. Like, I was at the Chiefs game a few weeks ago, and he did halftime, and I'm just looking at him. I'm like, I knew it. This isn't him, performing in front of 77,000 people halftime at the NFL playoff game. Not surprised at all. And he was driven. That was his drive, was like something I had never ever experienced. I thought we were driven. Oh, that dude was driven, and now he's, the fruits of his labor are for all the world to see.
Yeah, I ain't a millionaire. I love it. You just can't make this up.
Yeah, I mean,
Man.
and it comes from, and all this is in our, this branch,
In
all
our
these
sphere.
branches that we have, our sphere of influence, right? There's some extremely talented people that have been in this town, that come from this town, this Kansas City, that is, and
Absolutely.
it's just, and we need to lift that up, locally more than we do. And Tech reps KC like I thought I used to rep KC. I thought we rep KC. That dude reps KC like nobody else. I mean, he could live anywhere and he still stays here. And that's one of the things I appreciate about that brother, that he's just loyal to the town, to the brand,
Loyal to the soil, baby.
That's right. That's right. So Tech, we love you, man. Proud of you.
Yes. Kansas in the house. Well, we all rep Kansas because I'm KCK. I'm over here, Wyandotte County, but y'all from
The
there.
metro
But
area, the whole metro area.
The metro.
Metro, right?
Exactly.
So
but
Pricilla,
we all rep.
when you say it, Pricilla, just leave the last part off. Just say Kansas City.
Oh.
See, because just Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Yeah. Say it one time.
See, that sounds so good.
Let me hear
it's
it.
Nice
Kansas
succinct, right?
City. Kansas City.
There you go.
Oh boy,
crazy.
Doing it. He back there doing it.
But with everything, have you guys? I know you guys experienced this. What has been, if you can remember? I know you guys got stories. When you're out on tour, what has been the most craziest, wildest encounter you had with the fans, and also when you do meet and greet when you meet your fans? I know you guys got stories.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
choose
but
one. Just choose one. One good one.
we gotta find something that
I
ain't
don't.
that's
I
family
don't.
friendly.
I'll tell you what. Let me. I have a
We gotta
story.
think of
Something wild that
family
happened while
friendly.
we were on tour, but it's not necessarily dealing with a fan. Can I tell this story?
Yeah, we got a couple of
One
those. I wonder
time
which one you're gonna pull out.
we were out on the road with Sounds of Blackness, and we're driving. We just came from. We were doing a black college tour. So I mean, we would have to go from city to city, sometimes 2 cities in one day. So we had just got through performing in this college town. It was a back roads, super dark. I mean, no street lights. The roads were barely paved. And we stopped at a gas station. They said, well, if you get off, we got 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Be back on this bus in 10 minutes. So all of us jumped back on the bus in 7 minutes, except for one of the members. This guy does not get back on the bus. He's on the phone. That's when you had payphones. So he stayed on the payphone while we were on the bus, and the drivers, they said, we are leaving in 10 minutes. You better be on the bus. So we all got on the bus. The bus takes off. They start counting everybody. And one of our band members got left in this dark road. I mean, there were no lights. I mean, if you walk out in the woods at night, that's what it looked like. This guy was there. He got left on the road, and we had to, I forgot how somebody circled back and got him. But it was crazy. So he had to be out there for about an hour.
Right. We were miles out.
Yeah, we were
miles out.
We had drove a while.
He's like, I thought he was on the other bus. Because it was 2 buses. That's the thing.
Right. It was 2 buses.
The one bus thought he was on the other one. And
the
vice
other bus
versa.
thought he was on the right. Yep.
And there was 3 buses because it was one with the tech crew.
With
and
the crew,
equipment.
there were 3 buses. Yeah, you're right, Bone. There was 3 buses.
So yeah, the
you know
tech
what?
crew
I think
had
somebody
their bus.
drove up beside the bus and was trying to flag us down and said, y'all left somebody.
Yeah, something like that. But it was
because it wasn't no cell phones.
Man, it was crazy.
We had no cell phones.
No cell phones.
We had beepers, and beeper ain't gonna help you. Beeper ain't gonna help you.
Yeah, beeper ain't gonna help you.
That was crazy.
I would say one of the craziest, and this doesn't have anything to do with fans. I will say that one time we did an autograph session outside of Church's Chicken in Houston, that people were lined up like 3 blocks down the road. Or it's Popeyes, not Church's. It was Popeyes Chicken in Houston. I don't know why we're doing an autograph session to this day. I still don't understand. Popeyes Chicken. Yeah, but Popeyes Chicken. Yeah, they did a live remote.
Yeah,
and there were hundreds of people down the block waiting for us at Popeyes Chicken while we did, because I think we were kind of like, man, see, man, we why we doing autograph session at Popeyes Chicken? See, that's how they treating us, you know.
Hold up.
We was complaining, and we get there, and there's hundreds of people.
The Beatles.
You know, it was like the Beatles. Like we were the Jackson 5. Baby. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was nuts. So that was amazing. That was really amazing. You know, we didn't expect that, but it's always nice to kind of, you know, not expect a lot, and then when it's something really amazing happens, it's like, oh, this is great. But that same show was Valentine's Day in Houston. We were playing in the round, and it was
Tell the story, brother.
R. Kelly.
Actually, that's 2 different. That's 2 different dates. I think that's
no,
2
it's
different
not.
dates.
No, it's not. Trust me. No, it's not. No, this is the same. This is the same one.
I'm trying to tell
I'm
you.
telling you.
If it's Valentine's
I
Day,
remember
he's
what
right.
happened. I remember what happened after Popeyes.
Because I know it's the same show.
That's not the
It's
same,
the same show. The teddy bear show, the chocolate and teddy bear show.
Did nothing happen? No.
Okay, all right. So let's talk about Houston in the round. R. Kelly, us after 7. R. Kelly shows up late. R. Kelly does not show up for sound check. All right.
Yeah, he missed sound check.
He
missed sound check.
Yeah.
So the promoters
R. Kelly
tells
didn't
us.
speak to us. He didn't speak to us.
He didn't. Yeah, he never spoke to us. Yeah, I don't want to get into. We're not going to talk about R.
Right. Where we right.
Yeah, he's got his own problem. I'm not going to kick a man when he's down. But
he got some good music.
See what happened was.
Good music.
See what happened was. Hold up. So, but I'm just telling the story. This is so he doesn't show. So the promoter says, "Man, y'all can keep going." And we have like, that was, what is that, an hour 15-minute sound check?
Man, we had a great sound check, a rehearsal.
We lived, man. So when R. Kelly finally shows up, he's trying to do his sound check, and the promoter was a baller and wasn't having it. And he cussed R. Kelly's road manager, whatever, out. I can't say the words on this show, but the end result was like, he ain't getting a sound check. It ain't happening. And he had a gun in his waist to prove that it wasn't happening. We did a lot of shows. We did a lot of shows like that. Yeah, And I will tell you this, I have no problem saying this. It can go out. This is on the internet, and the internet's forever. We got all of them that night. That night, we got all of them. That was our night. There was, after we were done, because we gave out teddy bears and we gave candy, we gave love. And after 7 and R. Kelly came on, there was nothing they could have done to get that crowd back to them. We got all of them that night.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
Believe we got R. Kelly. Ain't that crazy?
We got him.
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 After 7 wasn't too
right.
bad.
I will say, R. Kelly was an interesting dude, because I remember one particular show. We were in Little Rock, Arkansas too. He seemed very insecure, so he used to actually make people he wouldn't let us watch him stay backstage and watch his show. Right. And he would like make people leave backstage, and so we would go out in the audience and kick it with the crowd. I remember that particular show where we scoped in, excuse me, and there was some seats, and so we sat down, and it was like, and these girls look at us like, and then they started screaming, like they realized it was LoKey. We were sitting out in the crowd with the crowd.
Yeah.
Watching the show just like them.
Yeah.
What did y'all just say?
Those were the days.
Yeah, so that's the kind of stuff we used to do that helped us connect with our fans. I mean, we weren't trying to be divas or nothing like that. We, you want us backstage, we'll just go out here with the people. Kick it with them.
That's right.
Yeah. Right. With all you guys is just looking back on everything and where we are now, what is the next chapter for LoKey? What do you guys want your legacy to be?
That we don't suck.
Right.
I'm joking.
I mean, look, I no, that's I think that we've, and I want to pay homage to Lance Alexander right now, because right now he's struggling with some health issues, and Lance is one of the co-founders of the group. I personally played with Lance since 1981. It's we're not here without him. And
Right.
this is a really difficult time, and we wish him all the best, and we lift him up in prayer and wonderful thoughts that he will recover. So it's really important that's said tonight. But our legacy
Yes.
hopefully is just something that where we hopefully gave people some joy, that we left some songs here behind that people will remember, like where they were and what they were doing when they first heard it. I've talked to people who said this was the first, I Got a Thing for You was the first dance for their wedding. Just recently we were able to bless a couple over in London, England, where we did a performance for
Yes,
them
Tabitha.
via video, and
Colleen.
the husband, the groom, we're his favorite group, and his wife gifted him with a what
Thanks,
was that,
Joyce.
like an 8-minute performance we
Right.
stringed together, where we did via video, and we did it all remotely. Prof was where he was, Dre was where he was, T-Bone was where he was, and we put this together, and she surprised him on their wedding day with this video performance from us. Those are the type of things that I probably oftentimes we may take for granted, but that meant so much to him.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
that's those are the things that I think when we all decided that we wanted to do this at some level, it's like, could we be that for other people? Like the groups we grew up with were like that for us,
Yeah.
like Cameo and Earth, Wind and Fire, artists like Prince or Stevie Wonder. Like we know what an indelible mark they made on our lives. So I think that hopefully we're that for a lot of people. That's the legacy I want to leave. Is that we're that group, we have that song or that album that really is part of the glue and the fabric of someone's soundtrack of their lives.
Yeah.
Nicely stated.
Yeah, I think
Perfect.
he kind of said it. He kind of said it all there. I always hoped that we would be, like Darren said, like the groups of old, Earth, Wind and Fire, Cameo, and Ohio Players. Those groups gave you an escape. So even if you were having a rough day, when you put that album on, it allowed you to escape. And a lot of them were characters. So we emulated a lot of that. And so we always wanted to spread a little love. We always wanted to be able to make people laugh. And we want you to be able to escape with some good music. So, and that's what I hope our legacy is: laughter, love, and good music.
That's it.
Prof, what you want your legacy to be?
Why do I have? Okay, I think they stated it great. I think they laid it right out there. I don't really know. That's exactly it. Just want to leave a mark. I think Thank For You, if nothing else, Thank For You did it. It will be. It's a soul classic. It's a '90s soul classic. That's huge.
Yep.
Never thought I'd have a part to do with anything like that. So, yeah.
To be honest,
What
we
else
may
can you
have
say?
one or two more in the tank too. To be honest with you, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think we got one or two more in the tank.
Well, all right.
Stay
Before
tuned.
Thank you. Was that Colleen giving us love? I didn't see her name
Beautiful.
went by so fast.
yes,
Thank you, Tabitha.
I want you guys, the audience, to know. For some reason, I can't see you guys' question only through my tablet. That's why I haven't.
Right
but
on,
they
Monica.
can see it. long as they can see it, I'm going through my tab and I'm reading you guys' comment. But before we get ready to start this game, fellas, before we start the little, family feud, we call it old school Tuesday turn up version of that. What would you guys be if they did like a verse battle? But with I see LoKey, I see Nick Condition, I see the Rude Boys, I see Men at Large, Troop, High Five. Would you guys be interested in doing with all those groups? So basically almost kind of like the '90s, the verse battle of the '90s, boy groups of the '90s. Would you guys be interested in that?
Yeah.
Oh, that would
be great.
That'd be huge.
I don't know if High Five wants to see us again, but yeah, I'd be interested in that.
Don't go there, but I know.
That was.
That's another conversation.
Yeah, I mean, High Five.
That'd be fun.
That'd be fun. Absolutely. Yeah. So no, that's just a memorable show in London. We did with High Five in London. So that was a really. I think those pictures that you were showing was from that show.
Mm-hmm.
We said we were in London. It was us at High Five at the Hammersmith in London. Yeah, it was a good night. It was a good night. It was a good night. We lived a lot.
Yeah, we did.
We lived a lot. That's in Minneapolis.
Cool.
So
look at that.
Yeah, I mean we're down. I mean, of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that we're performing in on April 12th and 13th. We're performing in Wichita, Kansas, April 12th with Stephanie Mills and Freddie Jackson. March. My bad. And then we're coming to Kansas City the following day, Sunday, March 13th, and we're going to be at the Midland with Stephanie and Freddie again. And I'm really looking forward to this show. These are two people that we've never had a chance to play with. And honestly, like when we were trying to come up, they were doing it. So, they're kind of our contemporaries, so to speak, but not really. But Stephanie, she was 70s. She had the Wiz. She's winning Tonys. Then her R&B career starts and she's killing it. And then Freddie, of course, Freddie, that's like 1985. That's like, that's that record, Rock With Me, for old time's sake. That was the record in 85.
Please.
So
absolutely.
So this is going to be really, really fun to grace the stage with them.
Mm-hmm. Well, y'all know that Stephanie, it's her first time here in Kansas City. So you know what that means, y'all. Y'all gotta give Stephanie and Freddie, make sure they get some Gates barbecue. There's no way they can come here and don't get no Gates. Y'all better have that way.
We'll talk to them on that Saturday. Yeah. Yeah, I did not know that though. Pricilla, that
it's been a long time that I actually saw her here.
It's my job to know. I know.
That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, okay. All right. It's been a long. Like you said, Bonus. It's been a long
time. I remember seeing him in the 80s.
Like 1980.
I saw Stephanie.
81.
It was 87, 88, 88.
Really?
1988 at the.
I saw some video of her, man. She's still bringing it. She looks great.
And I'm gonna tell you what. I really didn't want to go to the show in the Stephanie Mills. I was like, I don't want to see her. I don't want to see her. I went to the show and had my mind blown. She is a phenomenal performer. She is everything. She's going to give you everything. Mm-hmm. So if you ever have the opportunity to see Stephanie Mills, don't miss it, because she is going to bring it. So I'm looking forward to it. But we're going to bring it too.
Me too. I know, because I'm going to be right there with y'all. I'm going to be right there with y'all. I'm going to be right there. I mean, LoKey. I know Stephanie, Freddie. Oh, come on. That's a concert. I'm right there. I'm going to be right there with you all. Yep. Most definitely.
It's a nice life,
definitely.
man.
Yeah. Most definitely. All right, Tall Boy, y'all know we getting ready to do this fun 10-second.
Okay, what are we doing?
10
What are we
songs.
doing?
Okay, we do like Family Feud. You get 10 questions. You got to answer them real quick.
Okay.
Real quick. And the Tom Boy's going to put up the timer, the sound. And it's
Okay,
kind
cool.
of like Family Feud. Well, Steve Harvey, you just,
Kinda like-
whenever you hear the question, you got to help me answer it because I go straight to the next one.
Your boy Prof,
All right.
he disappeared on us. Oh, there he go. He over there doing something in the background.
Let's see.
Y'all talk too long. I had to take care of something. Y'all talk way too. It's been going on an hour and a half. What you want me to do?
We get ready to
had
play
to
this
go.
game right now.
You had to go to the bathroom?
We get ready.
Come on, yo.
Oh, you could have talked to me. You be all right. You be fine. Me too.
Oh my God. Oh my
It's an
God.
hour and a half.
It's fair, but you could have sent a
It's fair.
message or something.
I did.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't pay attention.
I don't even know where the messages go, to be honest with you.
Well, I had to do.
All right, he's back. It's time to play the
All right,
game.
let's play the game. Let's play this. All right. Probably gonna play this Family Feud question 10 questions. You got one whole 60 seconds to answer the question. It's on 60 seconds, but like Family Feud is gonna go real quick with the question. So Top Boy, let me know you're ready to get started.
Give me 1 second.
Right.
Okay, if it takes us 60 seconds to answer the questions, we don't know it.
No, actually, y'all want to hear something funny? We had Pure Soul in November. Because you know the girls who sing the 90s girl group song, We Must Be in Love, that wedding song. Yeah,
Pure
so
Soul.
guess what? Yeah, I talk to Sean Allen every day. That's my girl. Those are my girls. They was on what it Top Boy on the question forever, the longest. We just sitting there like, okay, yeah, okay. It was hilarious. It was the funniest thing ever. But they got through it.
Yeah.
But don't do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think that
They ain't
once
got
you
that
get past
GED.
like 15, 20 seconds, you don't know it. No. That's what I think.
They ain't got
You
their
don't know it.
GED.
Y'all ready?
Y'all ready? Okay.
Ready, let's go.
Okay. Favorite ice cream?
Orange sherbet.
That's
Chocolate chip.
pecan.
Favorite dish?
Gumbo.
Surf and turf, filet mignon, and a lobster tail.
Favorite movie?
Oh,
Friday.
Godfather.
The Godfather.
Favorite comedian?
Louis
Richard Pryor.
C.K.
Richard Pryor. Dave Chappelle.
Favorite love song?
Too many to name.
What's the Love Ballad by LTD?
Love's Holiday, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Favorite color?
Purple.
Red.
Oh, Maroon.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunrise.
Sunrise.
Sunset.
Chicken or ribs?
Chicken.
Ribs.
Chicken.
Grits with sugar or grits with salt?
Sugar.
It's grits with sugar.
Depends on what I'm eating.
Name the artist and group you would like to see come on Old School Tuesday Turnup. Each one of you give your. Let's go.
The name is Bootsy, baby.
Okay, Bootsy. That's an artist.
I would love to have the Tonys come on.
Oh,
Right. Yeah.
Okay, that's a group.
You get that? If you can make that happen.
Oh, we're supposed to give an artist and a group.
Correct.
So you gave a group
artist.
there and give an artist.
I gave a group. Artists.
Stokely.
Ooh, okay.
Janet.
T-Bone, you gave a artist group.
I gave an artist. I need to give a group. I would say the Tonys for a group.
You can't-
I would love I can't say the same thing.
No, Gotta give
I'm sorry.
Got to give your own one.
Mint condition then. How about that?
Ooh, okay.
That's a good
Props.
one.
We need both. You sitting there chilling.
I said Stone, but
Okay.
I was thinking.
He's both.
You gotta
How
go.
about like you remember group Nothing Nice?
Okay.
I don't.
You don't remember that?
Uh-uh.
They
I
had a
remember
song
nothing.
called
I
Froggy
remember nothing
Style
night.
Yeah,
in the
yeah, I
90s.
remember that.
I remember
You
them.
should pull that up, tall boy. You pull that one up. You know, some
You guys,
obscure. I like to do the obscure groups. Yeah, you know.
okay.
What's Keith Sweat's group? What's his girl
Wayne
group?
Beaton.
Cut close.
Cut
Cut
close, yeah.
Close.
Oh, they were
They was
dope.
nice. They was
They
nice, man.
were. They were. They got story. Oh my God. Oh God, they were good. And now let your audience, let the fans know where can they find you. Darren, you go first. I know exactly where you be at nighttime. Well, on we're on our radio station. Just but where can the fans
Yeah,
find you?
yeah. And my show starts in 16 minutes. So I will be going straight from here to there when I leave here. So what's the question, Priscilla?
Let the fans
Where can they find you?
where do you want them to find you on social media and everything like
Yeah,
that?
sure. You could. I'm on IG, dberry 1982. Follow me there. I am on Twitter at Story Darren, STORYDARRON, and then Facebook is just my name too, Darren Story. You can follow me there on Facebook, and I am on TikTok. I'm just putting my toes in the water of TikTok. So it's Story Darren on TikTok. So I'm just getting used to that because that's a lot. TikTok is a lot, man. I mean, it's a commitment. It's like dating someone. That's where you can find me on social, and of course, you can listen to me on 107.3 KC's R&B and Hip Hop Monday through Thursday on 107.3 After Dark, 9 to midnight. You can stream us. You can download the app at the App Store or Google Play, KMJK 107.3. You can listen to me anywhere you are.
All right. Prof T, where can they find you on your social media?
My social media game is mad suspect. So the only place you're gonna find me is Facebook under Prof Teezy. Prof Teezy, PROFTEEZY. And I don't know, I might be full up. I don't know if I can even accept any more friends. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Are you? We're on Instagram though. Our LoKey.
Yeah, LoKey _ 2.0.
Yeah, we on Instagram.
Okay.
Come holler at
T-Bone,
us.
where can they find you, homie?
Priscilla, you got to come to my house. See, that's the only place y'all can find me, because social media, I mean, I'm on Facebook, but I really don't do a whole lot. Not really. Yeah. So, if Vicky says it's cool, y'all can come and hang out at the crib with us. We'll cook y'all something, or she'll order some wings for y'all. But that's how you have to find us.
Okay. Hey, let me before I let you guys go. Guess what? Guess who was in here? My girl Sean Allen from Pure Soul. She made a comment. She said you talked about her. They are bad too at this question stuff. LOL. Don't worry, I'm gonna send her a text when this is over. Don't worry, She was in here, so
we did good on the questions, didn't we?
I know.
Come on.
Yes, you got amazing. You guys.
I thought we did good.
She just hating.
We was rapid fire with it.
Come on, girl, we did all right.
See there, we're gonna have to do a versus with them then.
Yeah, right.
I tell you what.
Now,
If I know them, we need to bring them back in here. I should get them in here with you guys in here in Old School Tuesday Turnup, and let them come in here and bring in the Rude Boys. And then you guys know I had Jade on. Well, I had Joey Marshall.
Oh, that was yeah.
That's what's
That was a good
up.
show. That was a good show. That was a
Yes.
nice little battle with us and the Rude Boys that night at Levert's. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Man, we had some good times with those guys.
Yeah, those some good brothers right
Real
there.
cool. Real cool.
I just want to thank you guys from being here, listening to your story. I enjoyed you. The fans love you guys. They've been making comments. I've been trying to watch, but I've been too busy listening at the same time. So I was too busy listening. And I just want to thank you guys for being here on Old School Tuesday Turnup and allowing me to interview you guys and not only that, but you guys opened up season 2 for the show, and I appreciate that. And I love you guys, and I can't wait to see you guys at the concert coming up in March. Yes, and Tom, I don't know about you guys, but don't leave. We like to dance our way out of here. But before then, let me say bye to the fans quick. Tallboy, get the music ready. We're going to dance our way out of here. But before then, everyone, I want to thank you all for watching the one and only LoKey. I want to thank you all for being here, making comments. Sheila, Colleen, Monica, Tabitha, Sean, I see you, sweetheart. My other friend, Sean, I see you. It's all you guys are in here. Alicia, Preston, I see all you ladies. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you. You guys enjoy your Tuesday night. Enjoy your week. Until then, I will see you next time. Tallboy, text us, send us out of here. We're dancing on out. Y'all ready, Jim?
Do the snake. One time, 2 times. Pop lock.
They wanted y'all to sing, but y'all didn't sing. It's all good.
Ain't nobody told me nothing.
Ain't nobody told us we had to sing.
Ain't nobody told me nothing
I
about
used to get
singing.
artists to sing.
Somebody said that we
Y'all
had
better
to sing.
keep dancing. Y'all supposed to be dancing and talking at the same time. Come on
Ain't
now.
nobody told us to sing. Ain't nobody told us
Go
how to
ahead, sing
sing.
it out.
Oh, Tallboy.
Somebody sing a little bit.
I ain't got no money.
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
It always seems let go. It's
So,
not funny.
I want to be your lover. Yes.
Oh, no.
I want to be. Good God.
Y'all go ahead and say goodbye to everybody. Say goodbye. I'm about to
Bye,
end
everybody.
it.
Love you.
See y'all later.